Hi everybody, welcome back to the Blacksmith Shop. This is Henrietta here at Iron Sunset Forge, and we're going to be checking out a new tool that I just picked up here for the forge. It's going to be a tumbler. I've been blacksmithing now 20 years, 20 plus years, and I have, in the last several years, every year when my major metal art shows start kicking in for the season, I think I really need to get a tumbler, or I need to get some sort of cleaning product or system, because it's taking a lot of time, or a good chunk of my time, for making products to get ready for the metal art shows and the markets and things like that as well. And as I'm getting busier and busier, I decided to do a little more research. Now, there were a couple that we're looking at. I have to admit that there was two that were on the blog for me to buy. And one of them, it was going to be 6 to 9 months before I got to see it. And the cost for it to come here in Alberta, Canada, from wherever it was coming from, was almost the same amount as the product. It was a couple $100. And I was like, I'd like to have it for the Christmas season, for my markets that are shows that are coming up. So I thought, well, I'm going to check this one out as well. Another one that I was seriously looking at. It's called the ProPoint Metal Vibratory Tumbler, and it is actually from Princess Auto, which is one of my favorite stores, and has been for many years, many decades. And so I thought, well, I'll give this a try and see. They had them in stock, and it looked like it was a good product. So, and they usually are pretty decent for ProPoint. And the warranties and the guarantees that Princess Auto has is really good. I have to say, I've never had a problem with them so far, and it's been over 30 years I've been dealing with them. So, we're going to check this puppy out and see how she does. And yeah, let's do that right now, shall we? Open this box up and see what's in there. Ooh. The instructions, important. Don't lose these. Make a file somewhere. Because in 5 years when you're trying to figure something out, you can grab it. Nice. Got a little bit of weight to it. Awesome. Excellent. Yep. Ropes down the bottom. There we are. Cool. Now this one I'm obviously not going to be throwing in my fire pokers and stuff, but it's definitely for my my J hooks, my S hooks, my keychains, my necklaces, all the smaller pieces that I make that are tedious for cleaning. So this will save me in time. Jingle, jingle. And my Christmas ornaments. Yes, I make Christmas ornaments. Crazy, eh? There we are. Ooh, and it comes with some stuff. Look at that. Nice. Almost looks like the walnut. Excellent. Very excited. There's 3 packages in here. This is amazing. Awesome. So, ProPoint, which is the primary brand for Princess Auto. It's a Canadian company from Winnipeg. And yes, I have lived in Winnipeg several years, many years ago. Graduated high school back then. Let's see here. And I'm going to look at the instructions. And we're going to check this puppy out, get her all set up and ready to play. Not looking too bad. She's pretty solid. And we'll see what it tells me to do and not to do. And I'll set her up, come back here, and then we'll throw some stuff in there. I've got a couple S hooks and a few other pieces that we'll throw in, and we'll see how it goes. Check it out soon. Hi, so we're back again, and I'm going to put the last of the bags in, and this is, I believe it's a walnut, mainly meant for polishing, and that's what I'm looking for. So, put this in. It says about 2/3 full, so I'm assuming that that's about 2/3 full. I did buy another bag of the walnut just in case, but I don't think I'm going to need it right now. Put that in there, make sure everything's clean. Now there's a couple of safety precautions. Please read the instructions. It won't kill you. Take a few minutes, safer than sorry. One of the big ones as I was reading in this is do not use sand or silicate particulate dust as an abrasive. And goes into being pretty scary when inhaled over a period of time as short as several weeks or as long as 5 to 10 years. It can cause silicosis, which is shortness of breath, cough, fever, effects of breathing. Can cause bluish skin, which is not good. And you don't want to be doing that because that can actually kill you if it's untreated. So read the instructions. This is not a toy. Even though it is a toy, it's not a toy. So I put it in. It's 2/3 full. We're going to get the cord all ready here. I got a couple of pieces, just a variety of things that I make. Not a large variety, but a few things. I got a couple of S-hooks, some hairpins, hair sticks, goes in the hair, you know, flips it around. We'll see how those do. And it gives options or suggestions of different abrasions and things that you can use. Don't use water in this. This is not one of the water ones. And I have a jingle bell. Perfect for the season. It's technically not supposed to go over 5 pounds all total. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. It also says after you're done, let it sit for an hour because of the particulates in the air. You don't want to be inhaling that. I do suggest that you have a ventilation system, fan thing, so it circulates the air out. We all know about the fumes and the dangers of blacksmithing, and also if you do welding in your shop, it's also safer than sorry for your lungs. Masks, things like that. You know, PPE that is required for whatever it is you're doing. Make sure you got it. Play safe, stay safe. So we'll put this in. Spinny. It's not often I get a new toy in the shop that I get to play with, but the incentive this year was very high because I had a lot of products I was making, and I was getting a little tedious working 12, 15-hour days before the market there. So, yay! Turn this puppy around. It's got all the information in it. Do not expose to rain or use in damp. Yeah, okay. Well, there's a whole also warning on it as well, so you can check that out too. Earplugs, because I do not know what the decibel reading on this is. It probably tells me in the instruction manual. Safety goggles, earplugs, flat surface, step back. Not that loud. Not that bad for noise. That's good. It's not mad at me with what I put into it, so I can probably put a lot more in. Maybe, we'll see. And it says do this for leave it for about an hour, 2 hours, up to 4 hours, depending on what it is you're cleaning and what product you have in it, and the abrasions. So we're going to check this out in a couple hours. We'll let it sit for an hour after as well, so I'll be back in a couple hours. You'll be back in a few seconds. Well, welcome back to the shop. It's been 45 minutes for the tumbler to do its parts tumbling thing, and then I let it sit for another hour. That's as per the instructions. Yes, I listened to the instructions. So we're going to open her up and see what it looks like. Now, it does say 1 to 2 hours, but yeah, I didn't want to wait that long. So it's 45 minutes, so we'll see what it looks like at 45 minutes. And I'm just going to spin that open. And we'll see what's inside. So not too bad. Stuff, I don't know if you can see that little bitsy bits in there. So we'll take everything out. Swinging. There's still some scale on that one, but This one is a little beaten up a little bit more. Got a couple S-hooks. And some hair sticks. There's supposed to be another hair stick. You know, it's not too bad. It still has a little bit of scale on it, but it was only in for 45 minutes. Yeah, it's not too bad. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. Still has a little bit of scale on it, but nothing, not as bad as it was. It is starting to shine it up, which is nice to see. It is starting to shine that bits up. I would, still a little bit of scale on there, but nothing, and most of the rust has been taken off. I think that if I did leave it in for the 2 hours, this would be really good. This poor guy has got a little more TLC needed. And that's partially my fault because I didn't brush it as much as I probably should have. This is the first one of the season. Works really good, so it's more of a practice. Get me reminding myself how to make these again. I've only been making these this will be my second year making them. So this one I definitely would leave in for, because it is a flat stock mostly. I would definitely leave that in there. Even if I have to do get the brush on this, the grinder assembly, it's not going to be as bad and as much work as cleaning it up. And as you saw or heard before, it's not that loud. And I can just leave this off to the side while I'm doing other things in the shop. And then when I get set up to clean, then it's going to be a lot less cleaning, a lot easier to do. And I can definitely see, let's see here, with these guys. Yeah, it's not going to be that hard to. I don't even think I'd probably leave these for at least an hour, maybe the 2 hours that recommends. Listening to the instructions, sorry guys. And then I probably just have to do this, clean off the dust, and then I can paint it. Most of my product I like the shiny metal, yeah, sometimes. But you know, I like the older look, especially if I'm going to be putting oil onto it or beeswax or something like that. It doesn't have to be shiny. Even a clear coat spray paint, just to see the natural texture and color of the metal. But no, I think I like this. I give 2 thumbs up to this, and it's not a huge industrial one that's going to take over a quarter of my shop. It's going to be perfect, and when I'm done with it, I can put it off to the side. I've already made a spot for it to hang it out over in the corner, so that it's easier for me. If you're a single shop worker, blacksmith in a shop, welder, whatever, if you're like me, I don't have a lot of space to waste, and I don't want to waste too much time on things. So for me, this is going to help me cut down on my cleaning. It's going to keeps out of the way of me being able to do other stuff, yet I can still bring it out and use it again. It's going to be a nice addition to my shop, and I'm really happy with the product. Yay, Princess Auto. So if you're looking for this, for something like this, for a tumbler to help you with cleaning your parts, definitely give it a check, and check out your local Princess Auto. Thanks very much for coming to the Blacksmith Shop and hanging out with me for the day. Hopefully we'll see you again next time we're in the shop. Play safe, stay safe. Bye guys. Ready? Ready? Get it! Ooh! Good girl. Fetch! 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 Fetch!